inspection car with the Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw ji, who handles three very crucial portfolios: railways, IT, as well as telecom. And you're sitting here, sir, in the driver's seat aboard an inspection car. It seems very fitting that we are interviewing you inside this moving car. But thank you very much for talking to us, sir. You've had quite a hectic day in Bengaluru reviewing various railway projects. There's clearly a lot of interest around Vande Bharat. But Vande Bharat, Vande Sadharan, what are the plans going forward as far as the IT hub is concerned?
Bangalore requires a huge shift from road-based transportation to rail-based transportation. Every large city in the world, Tokyo, Seoul, take any large city, Osaka, New Delhi, all large cities basically manage their transportation by shifting a large part of the commute from road to rail-based transportation. So that's the first principle on which we are working. The entire railway network which runs across the city, we have reviewed each and every section of it today, had detailed sessions on this. How do we increase the capacity of each of these sections, whether the section which comes from the airport into the center of the city, one which comes from Whitefield into the center of the city, one which we are traveling now from the center of the city all the way to Hosur, another one on the Mysore side, another one on Tumkur side. All the sections we have studied in full detail and increase the capacity. Our endeavor will be to increase the capacity of each one of them and run modern, very modern Vande Metro trains on them. Vande Metro trains are being designed right now. The prototypes are getting manufactured. Very soon those prototypes will also be out. So we will be planning to do that first. Second, the Bangalore suburban project, which is a very important project for Bangalore city. That's a joint venture project in which the state government holds 51% equity in the company K-Ride. So we reviewed that project also today, and the state government officials were also invited for the review. And whatever support the central government can give, we will provide. This is a very important project. Beyond politics, we should see. We should rise above politics and deliver to the people is what our mission is. As our Prime Minister says, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. That's the way we will work on this. And third, very important, is we have sanctioned 7 crore rupees for preparing a DPR for ring railway. Basically, about 20 to 25 kilometers outside the main city, if we can do a complete circular ring railway, so that becomes the kind of hub and spoke model in which there will be 7 arteries through which people can come in and go out at a very rapid pace at good volumes, good numbers. And in a sense, most of the neighboring towns and cities of Bangalore they will become integral part of Bangalore once this ring railway concept works. In another 7 to 10 months, we will complete the survey and DPR preparation work, then we'll go for sanctions in other part. So in a sense, overall, we looked at each and every aspect of rail transportation in the city.
Got it, sir. You've also spoken extensively today about India's prowess when it comes to manufacturing, how it's emerged as a huge powerhouse when it comes to smartphone manufacturing, mobile manufacturing. As far as local needs are concerned, we are almost completely self-sufficient. 99.2% of phones are made in India. So what is the government's goal as far as exports are concerned over the next, say, 1, 2, 3 years? Would you have a target in mind?
This is an industry, electronics manufacturing, mobile manufacturing. This is an industry where it's very important to create that critical mass. That threshold has to be crossed, and that threshold we have now crossed. By crossing $100 billion of production and of electronics and $44 billion production of mobile phones, we have crossed that threshold. And today we are in a position where we can move away from a import substitution model and move on to an export-led model. This is a very complex global value chain. and some of the components which are required for manufacturing electronics and mobile phones, they are very high precision components. And very glad to share with you that quite a large number of components have started getting manufactured in India because of the volume of the product, final product. The supply chain is getting more and more mature. Value in the value chain, we are going higher again, like step by step, we are going up in the value chain. And now we have to focus on making it an export led growth. And export led growth is very important because that will generate huge number of employment, huge number of opportunities for the entire supply chain ecosystem. So that is our next focus. Another very important point to consider here is practically every aspect of electronics, telecom equipment, mobile phones, hardware like laptop, servers, PCs, defense electronics, power electronics, medical electronics, practically every aspect of electronic manufacturing and design that is now happening in India at a good scale, at a very large volume. And that is what is very important for scaling up the next journey.
Right. In fact, you've led me to my next question, sir. Will the vector of growth now be exports or value addition locally? Because while we make, 99.2% of phones are made in India, there are still questions about, value addition, how are we scaling that up? So if you can give us perspective on that.
It's a very important point, and there are some people who are trying to play politics on this without understanding the sector. See, the global value chain is such a complex phenomenon. If you draw the global value chain of a mobile phone on a map, you would be amazed. It looks like a spider's web. That's the complexity of the supply chain today. Every component will pass borders multiple times. So, first and foremost thing is to get the volume up. That's what we have been able to achieve in the 9.5 years. Today, the volumes are very good. So now our focus is first on increasing the value addition in the country. Second, getting more and more design elements so that you get more for the value of what we produce here. Third, export-led growth, because our products are today well established on quality in terms of reliability, and uh, that prestige, that reliability, that confidence the world has created on India's manufacturing capabilities, that is what we will leverage in the next level.
Right. Tata and Apple are both ramping up manufacturing here. In fact, there are reports that Tata Electronics will double the amount of manufacturing that it does here. So, what are the plans in order to bring the entire iPhone component ecosystem in India? Is that going to be the next big push, sir?
See, most of the components in mobile phones, they have variants, but the fundamentals remain the same. So, I generally prefer never to take any names of any companies. All the companies which are manufacturing mobile phones in India, they have already started developing the component manufacturing. As I said, there are 5-6 major component subsystems which are now exported. So that's the growth which has already happened, and we need to continuously push that growth, and that phenomenon we should continuously encourage, so that more and more of value addition happens in India, more and more of exports happen out of India.
Got it, sir. You will also be at the AMD facility in Bengaluru tomorrow. So I have to ask you about India's plans when it comes to procuring compute and AI chips, because we've seen countries like UAE place orders, other countries place orders. It's sort of become a geopolitical race for chips. How are we, sir, in terms of compute capacity, GPUs?
Listen, we have to look at the entire thing from multiple perspectives. What we are doing tomorrow at AMD campus is one of the largest semiconductor product design campuses is getting established in India, in Bengaluru. That gives a totally new dimension to chip design. We have about 300,000 That's 3 lakh chip design engineers in India. And many of them are today designing some of the most complex chips in the world. So, with the success of our semiconductor program, many of them are now encouraged to start product design companies. So, more we get the full product design here, more we create the opportunities for further fab manufacturing processes in our country. So, our focus is on the entire value chain, design part, full product design, fab, and OSAT. The first factory that was first OSAT unit that was approved during Honorable Prime Minister's visit to US. In June, the approval happened. With Micron, and in September the factory construction started. So the entire world has got huge confidence on India's ability to execute and create a totally new industry. So our focus right now is to make sure that our entrepreneurs and startups, they are able to create value in terms of product design. Our large companies, they should move further up from services to product design. We get more and more proposals for setting up more fabs, and we continue to focus on OSAT as the segment. So this entire value chain, we are focused, and there is very good confidence in the world today, and good progress is visible.
Just the final couple of questions. You chaired a very important meeting last week on this entire deepfake issue, and you said a regulation will be coming. Subsequently, the government also has given a deadline to big tech firms that they need to take down these content, or they will risk losing the safe harbor provisions. Is it easy to regulate this, or do you expect a separate set of regulations, or do you believe the existing IT rules will be sufficient to crack down on such content?
We are open to every possible solution because this is a very big threat to democracy. This is a very big threat to our social institutions which has come up. And I'm very glad that all the platforms have responded in a very mature and responsible way. They are fully willing to cooperate, and we have had 2 rounds of meetings with them. And next meeting we should have within the first week of December. By that time, what steps the platforms are willing to take on their own, and from our side, whether we need a new regulation, new rules, or within the existing rules, what is the right solution, that we will discuss together and come up.
Last question, sir. Will this also determine the way you look at AI regulation going forward? Because the EU has now come up with norms. There is also a fear that, if you regulate an industry like this, it could end up stifling innovation. So where does India stand in the way it will go about?
See, we were very successful in creating a balance between innovation and regulation in our privacy bill, right? DPDP bill is a classic example where the entire world is taking this as a template today, because we were able to create a very good balance between innovation and regulation. We did not keep any provision which stifles innovation. In case of AI, there are multiple threats. This is a significantly more complex thing compared to privacy regulation, because AI can actually be a major threat to humanity itself. It can be today some of the deepfakes, misinformation which is created using AI. All these things can actually create huge disturbances in the society. Our social institutions like marriage, these are institutions which have been built over centuries. These institutions, if they are threatened by somebody creating a deepfake of somebody else and creating rift in the family, those kind of things are something which we need to worry about. Society has to take some action, and that's where we'll have to work together, all of us, the platforms, the society, the regulators, the government, all of us will have to work together and find a solution. I think we should be able to find that solution.
On that note, thank you very much, sir, for talking to us and for this special interview. Thank you, sir.